Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day. My name is Hanani Shaiqina and I am from SMK Tuanku Lailatul Shahrin. Today, I would like to share with you my top 5 favorite books, which are One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus, Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, Divergent by Veronica Roth, Matched by Ali Condi, and Billionaire Boy by David Walliams. Out of all of the books, my most favorite book is Billionaire Boy by David Walliams. A little backstory regarding the author. David Walliams is an English actor, comedian, and children's book author. His books have sold over 37 million copies worldwide, making him the fastest growing children's book author in the UK. His literary style is similar to the late Roald Dahl, who was one of the world's best-selling authors specializing in children's literature. In his work, he routinely incorporates humor and satire that is appropriate enough for children, but still steers away from being cringe for much older readers. Although he primarily writes books of which the target readers are children, his books are also very suitable for novice English language users, as he uses very simple and straightforward sentences that are easy to understand. Shifting our focus to the book itself, Billionaire Boy narrates the story of a 12-year-old billionaire named Joe Spud who lives with his billionaire father, Leonard Spud. Leonard Spud is the founder of the revolutionary Bumfresh toilet paper, a business empire that opened the doors to a more lavish lifestyle for the both of them. Joe has everything he could ever want: his own Formula One racing car, 1,000 pairs of trainers, and an orangutan as a butler, to name a few. Whatever he wanted, his father would buy it for him in a blink of an eye. However, there was one thing all the money in the world combined together could never buy: a friend. And that just so happens to be the one thing Joe wanted so badly. The book is very vocal about how money and wealth can still make you miserable. Despite being a billionaire, Joe is an outcast and a victim of bullying by students at his former school. He has a complicated relationship with his father because his father believes that money can buy everything and anything, which results in their conversations to be more money-oriented rather than heart-to-heart father and son talks. There is also an emphasis on Joe longing for a friend, which adds a sense of pity in the reader's hearts towards him. Personally, Joe's scenario and situation makes me grateful for my friends and my humble lifestyle. I am also very thankful that my parents do not raise me with the idea of money bringing happiness, because it certainly cannot. The story also brings light to the warmth of friendship. When Joe befriends Bob at his new school, he finally learns the sweetness of friendship. Joe is delighted when Bob, who is the exact opposite of Joe in terms of wealth, says he genuinely enjoys Joe's presence and neither cares about his money nor wants it. This makes me reminisce my small but trustworthy circle of friends. I would never discriminate any of them in terms of wealth nor status. Rather, it is how they make me feel that matters the most. At one point in the book, Joe and Bob temporarily cut ties, but reconcile after Joe acknowledges his faults towards Bob. Making mistakes is all part of life, and forgiveness is essential in maintaining relationships, so I always make an effort to either apologize or forgive whenever I get the chance. Another beautiful element in the book is how it proves that money is temporary, but relationships with loved ones will remain forever. In the story, Joe flees from home after a heated argument with his father and insists on never coming back. When his father comes face to face with his reality, his life shatters. His wealth begins to crumble, but he does not care one bit of it. He just wants his son back in his arms again. This just shows that having all the money in the world can still never buy a relationship as close as a father and son relationship. It also acts as a reminder for me, as sometimes I can get too distracted by the adornments life gives me to a degree where I would end up out of touch with reality from time to time. Family ties and relationships with others are always a priority over everything else, especially wealth, so it is only natural for us to preserve them. Apart from the interesting plot and positive moral values, there is also something to the book that makes it one of my most favorite books of all time, and that is the abundance of British slangs. I grew up in the UK and am naturally inclined to using these slangs in daily conversations, so this book takes me back to my childhood with every read. The British slangs add a touch of humor and comedy to each page of the book. However, those who are not familiar with them may find it a bit peculiar. This book has such a great sentimental value to me just through the Britishness of it. To summarize everything, I highly recommend reading Billionaire Boy. It is a breeze to read, hilarious, and has many life lessons we can learn. It is readily available in most bookstores across Malaysia. Those who read this book can also learn a little bit of informal day-to-day British English as well as British slangs, which slightly differ from the English we learn in school. I also highly suggest everyone to read more and relate emotionally with certain books, as it is one of the most spectacular feelings I've ever experienced in my lifetime. People may think that meaningful readings merely come from reading non-fiction books and the likes. However, I really want to accentuate that every single book, be it fiction or non-fiction, has abundance of moral values or none at all, is worth the read. I personally have lots of books of which there are little to no moral values, but are equally exciting, and I believe that is the biggest value one can possibly get. With that, thank you so much for listening.